season. Good evening, everybody. I'm Len Dawson, together with Chris Collinsworth, Nick Bonacani, and Jerry Glanville, welcoming you to the Slate Rock and Quarry Company pregame show. And fellas, here we are once again for another big game. Can you believe this? Who would have thought when we were here just a year ago for Sylvester versus Tweety that we would be here tonight with two different competitors, the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
I'll tell you one thing, Lenny, I would never have believed it.
Hey, Chris, you remember doing the pregame for last year's big game?
I wasn't here last year, Jerry.
What was that?
I wasn't here last year. Would you leave it alone, all right?
Oh, that's right. What'd you do? Lock your keys in the car?
Shut up, Jerry. Just shut up.
Well, we knew early on that the Roadrunner and Wile E. were going to be contenders. But honestly, whoever thought that they could take it this far?
I did. I really did.
Sure you did.
I
you
did.
know everything.
I did.
Hey, I know one thing. You talk about a beautiful night for this matchup. The desert air is cooling off a little bit as the sun has gone down. Nick, how do you think the weather is going to affect our competitors here tonight?
Well, you know, you're right. It's such a gorgeous night tonight. But when you're talking about the Roadrunner and Coyote, you've got to remember this. They're used to this desert weather.
Right.
But when these two play away from the desert, that's when they have trouble adjusting. Remember the Roadrunners games in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Hey, that was back in early December.
Gotcha.
That snow really affected his running game.
Actually, it was more of a stopping game.
Yeah, there was.
He had a little trouble.
Hey, Jerry, tell me this. How does the weather affect Wile E.'s game?
Same kind of thing, Lenny. Although when Wile E's playing in cold weather, it doesn't affect him as much as it does that Acme gear of his. When you get your Acme rocket launcher or your Acme atomic skates, a lot of times antifreeze and snow tires don't come standard. And that can be a real problem.
It's a real problem, guys. I tell you that luckily then both teams are playing with a home field advantage, so it should be a fairly even matchup.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that with these two.
This portion of the Big Game 28 pregame show is brought to you by Quest Laboratories. Technology with fighting big robotic spiders in mind. We'll be back in a moment.
Watching the Roadrunner's performance all season, it's hard to believe that he's never made it to the big game before today. So, just how has this fleet-footed bird made it this far? It's time now to take a closer look at this fine feathered competitor.
It's amazing how sometimes fate, karma, and destiny destine the karmic fate of an individual. Had the winds blown another way one hot desert night many years ago, the world may never have known the heart of the athlete that beats deep inside the Roadrunner. A lanky youngster, the Roadrunner discovered at an early age that he had a gift, the gift of speed. Faster than the desert winds that blew on those magical nights of his youth, the Roadrunner would race hither and yon across the arid landscape, often spending more time hither than yon. Hither had a better ice cream stand.
To be honest, the first time I saw the Roadrunner play, I didn't know what I was looking at. Kind of a big ostrich woodpecker looking thing. That's as much as I could make out with all the dust he was kicking up. Remember, this was one fast bird, just a blur most of the time. Then someone told me that this was the Roadrunner that everyone was talking about. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I had heard that he was fast, but man, his legs looked like big wheels, for crying out loud. Big blurry orange wheels.
On the field, the Roadrunner would usually let his tremendous speed do his talking for him. But when he did speak, he announced his presence with authority. Beep, beep. Words that to this day ring out like two big ringing out things. A phrase that would leave its indelible mark on the psyche of every competitor the young bird would ever meet. And with one in particular, Wile E. Coyote. From the first time the bird met this lupine on the field of competition, the world knew they were witnessing a rivalry to rival all rivalries. A rivalry for the ages, or at least for ages 2 and up. As the Roadrunner's celebrity grew, he began to prove that he was a star both on and off the field. In 1984, he set up his own foundation, which lobbied successfully for discount airfare for flightless birds. The Roadrunner, an athlete blessed with the gift of blinding speed, quiet determination, and a vocabulary that speaks volumes with only a single word.
What time of year is coming up? Well, not all champions receive high praise and their face slapped on a cereal box. Some just fall off of high places and get their faces slapped, period. But the fact that they're champions is never in question.
The desert. A vast sea of sand, tumbleweeds, and highway signs full of BB holes thanks to no-good punk kids. This is the birthplace of Wile Coyote, I think. He probably grew up one in a litter of 1 to 12 pups. Maybe he was a cute pup, I don't know. What I'm saying is we know little of the life of Wile before he became a household name. His family, his upbringing, his favorite golden girl, all a mystery. Our first introduction to this bipedal quadruped came in the form of a naive but passionate rookie. Unsatisfied with being an unknown, Wile took a cue from World Championship Wrestling and gave himself a nickname in an effort to stand out from the pack.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wile Coyote, genius.
It was a bold statement for a rookie, but he proudly stood by it. Which really was not a smart move at all, because soon an undefeated Bugs Bunny would deal the young Coyote loss after loss. In a poor attempt to change his persona from intellectual superior to lovable loser, Wile lost the moniker of genius and reintroduced himself.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mud.
The public response to this sudden change in character came in the form of no response at all. Wile quickly found himself at the end of a winless season and bumped down to the semi-pro or sheepdog circuit. His passion soon turned into a 9-to-5 job, and the thrill, as they say, was gone. But it's always in these darkest of times that inspiration peeks behind the door and says, "Hey, can I come in?" In this case, it was a feline doing the peeking. Sylvester the cat had been making a name for himself in the living room division. His tenacity and determination, despite loss after brutal loss, was the inspiration Wile needed to get back in the race. As a tribute to Sylvester, or props as the kids say, Wile painted his nose red every game as a salute to his newfound guru. After honing his skills in the Sheepdog League, it was time to remove the nose paint and enter the pros again as a rookie. Not as genius, not as Mud, but as Wile Coyote.
Boy, that's really nice. I love how the clips really match with the music, and that slow motion makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. That's really powerful stuff. Man, I love my job.
Hey, easy there, buddy. We're not even at the game yet. But I do like your enthusiasm.
You know, I am indeed enthused.
The crowds are beginning to arrive at Chuck Jones Stadium for Roadrunner versus Coyote, the big game 28.
Mr. Bravo?
Oh, man. Who said that?
Can I give you a hand?
No thanks, dog.
I'm a mole.
Hey, how about a swig of that pop, Pooch?
No, it's mine.
Oh, yeah.
It was mine. My soda.
Hey, dog. Cash.
I'm not a...
What is desire?
Desire? What's desire? I guess it's when you're really looking forward to something. You know, like Arbor Day. Desire? Desire makes you loopy. Loopy!
Pay attention here. Desire is the new shape of sexy. Get it?
What was the old shape?
All right, seriously now, just answer the question.
Gee, well, I like popcorn.
Go!
We're not witches, baby.
I like go out of my head.
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. All the things you're doing to me
And everything you said, even.
I just can't get enough.
I just can't get enough. We slip and slide as we fall in love.
And I just can't seem to get enough. I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.
Those unfamiliar with the world of sports see the fan as an obnoxious, nacho-inhaling goofball, which sounds just about right. Yes, fans are a motley crew, but they are more than shrieking, high-flying foot stompers. They are motivators. Our man, Fred Hickman, is knee-deep in fan presence. Let's throw it to Fred.
Yeah, knee-deep is absolutely right, Len. I'm here at the very popular Casa McDougal Sportsateria and Fun Shack. And as you can see, I'm joined by a bunch of wild and crazy Roadrunner fans. You know, today is unlike any other day for all these folks. They have wanted a big game appearance for years, and finally, that day is here. And these dedicated bird watchers are ready to celebrate and have some fun, right, gang? Yeah! Now, we got a lot of talented people here, and one of them is Daniel. Daniel, you have a unique gift, right?
Yes, I do. I have the unique ability to call out my Latin name at will. Check this out.
That's unbelievable, but that's just the start of some of the stuff we've seen here today.
I say road, you say runner. Road! Road! I say number, you say one. Number! Number!
Roadrunner!
I understand you actually know the Roadrunner.
Roadrunner and I have been good friends for years.
Oh my gosh, so he's actually been here?
Roadrunner started coming here in 1975. In fact, he sat in this very booth.
As you can see, Len, all of these Roadrunner fans are revved up, ready to celebrate, and the confidence level here is extremely high.
Well, it certainly is. I've never seen a group of fans so sure that their team would come out on top.
Yeah, and with the amazing season the Roadrunner has enjoyed this year, these fans do not know the meaning of the word lose.
Fred, thank you very much. Now let's check in with our other Fred, Fred Khalil, who's with that rare breed of fan, the Coyote fan.
Thanks, Len. Rare indeed. We're here at the Wile Coyote fan headquarters, and as you can see, it's not quite the same as it is over at Casa McDougal's, but there is an unmistakable energy here. And while there aren't as many Coyote fans, the guys that are here, they have big hearts, and I'm here with two of those diehard fans right now. Your names?
Pete.
Yeah.
Stuart.
How long have you been a Coyote fan?
Oh, I've been a Coyote fan all my life, because basically when I was little, my mom bought me anything that was of Coyote origin, such as a Coyote lunch pail and a Coyote notebook. And look, we went out and got these Coyote tattoos. Woo!
Oh, all right. Well, what do you think the Coyotes' chances are today?
About 6 years. I think, no, man, that question's over. Huh? That was the last question, man. What are the Coyotes' chances? 100%.
Well, the Coyote is, guys, Coyote is certainly considered a dark horse in this contest. Any thoughts?
So?
I was just asking. You know, there aren't as many Coyote fans as there are Roadrunner fans.
Well, that just isn't true. It just isn't, it's a lie or something.
Okay, well, Pete, Stuart, thank you very much. Len, we're gonna...
Wait, check this out,
Coyote! All right, Lenny, let's send it back to you.
Thanks, Fred. I think. You know, that's a shame when the other painted chests don't even show up, but that's how it's always been for Wile E. Coyote fans.
That's right, Lenny. Coyote fans are used to looking foolish and pathetic. That's what drives them. You know, you saw how those two weirdos reacted. Together, they spelled yo.
Yo.
Yet they cheered louder than any Roadrunner fans I've ever seen.
That's because Coyote fans have so much at stake here. If they lose, it's another year of snooty attitudes and turned-up noses from those Roadrunner fans. And that's plain unnecessary, not to mention flat-out annoying. I can't stand snobbery.
Well, don't look at me when you say that. We're going to let Jerry get all this out of his system.
Can you throw a forward pass? I'm not sure, but I'll try.
That's me at work on the set. Hi, I'm Rosie the robot, maid and housekeeper on the Jetsons. For over 25.6843 repeating years, the Robotic Way and the CNL have given time and energy to robots around the world in need of assistance, warning young robots about real dangers that touch their lives, from bad chips and compressors to teenage duplication synthesis. In addition, our team of Robotic Way volunteers and contributors work tirelessly with models both new and obsolete to tighten bolts, polish metal, and when necessary, replace parts. The challenge is great, but the rewards can't be programmed. And thanks to you, it works for all of us. The Robotic Way.
Is you will or is you ain't my baby? Maybe baby's found somebody new. My baby's still my baby true.
You're watching Cartoon Network's extensive pre-game coverage of Roadrunner vs. Coyote, the Big Game 28, here on Cartoon Network.
For every fan who tunes in to watch the awe-inspiring contest that is the big game, there are just as many who tune in for a different reason. Oh, yes, a very different reason indeed. The pageantry, the spectacle, the fancy production numbers. I'm talking, of course, about the halftime show. Yet with all of the hoopla surrounding the athletic side of the big game, no one has ever really taken the time to explore just what it takes to put together a halftime show. And what an interesting story it is. Let me assure you, this is certainly no time to run to the kitchen for some of those, some of those little hot dogs wrapped in dough. Instead, sit back as we take a very special look behind the scenes of this year's halftime show. Pigs in a blanket. Is that what they're called?
Wie geht's? I am called Helmut Spaßmacher. I am a choreographer. It is my life, it is my passion, and I love it. where I find my inspiration.
It was about 7:30, July the 5th. I received a phone call from the Big Game Entertainment Committee. She said, Helmut, we would love for you to do the halftime show. I said, of course I will do the halftime show. Who better to do it than Helmut Spaßmacher? I would love to do the halftime show. I've never been involved in a project like it. I said, sure. So I've created a 1/16 size model of the halftime show. Would love to show it to you right now. Come over here. Come, I will show it to you. Here we are. 1/16 size model of the halftime show. We need some area here for greenery. Something nice, something green. Palm trees? Who knows? Going through the trees really fast. Douglas firs, like very fast. More palm trees.
Some singer.
Singing all Tom Jones's favorite songs, right in the middle. Performing the whole time, turning around, maybe spinning around. There'll be instructions on the field in the form of signs. Carol Channing singing Hello Dolly. Here she is with the gorilla. Gorilla, oh, no, don't hit Carol Channing, gorilla. Here we are. Gorilla, Carol Channing, the trees are falling now. Wait a minute. This is working, this will work, I promise you. What is the halftime show from Helmut Spaßmacher without animals? We have Jürgen and his wife, the Falcon Bears. Giraffe on skis going around the show, around the track. Can we bring the lights down? No. Tom Jones, what would you like to drink? Helmut Spaßmacher, I love your work. What would you like to do? Could I bring you something to drink, Helmut? Here we are. Tom Jones would like water with lime in it, maybe. Oh, and I would like a sparkling water. Maybe the sparkling water would be really nice. Lemon, maybe lime, who knows? Here we are. And now, it's the halftime show. Here's the thing that sings the whole time, the halftime show. You're dancing around. We have two wolves. They're mimes. Very nice. Yes. Go. Dancing frolicking bears. Here we go. Evil Knievel. Jumping so back and forth. So halftime. Helmut Spaßmacher. Here we are. Here I am. And that's the show.
The halftime show will be wonderful. I have no fear. Except for bees.
Mercy, mercy, do we have a treat in store for us tonight, or what?
I'll say, Lenny, and I didn't think they'd be able to top Al Jolson's I Love to Sing a number from last year.
Think they'll be ready in time for halftime?
Well, Jerry, there's only one person who can answer that question for certain. We go now to Chuck Jones Stadium and join Helmut Spaßmacher live from the sidelines. Helmut, good to have you with us.
Hello?
Hello, Helmut.
Hello, Len?
Hello, Helmut. Looks like the stands are filling up there. Are people getting excited for tonight's big game where you are?
Pretty good.
A lot of excitement?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Then people are getting excited down here.
Fantastic.
And my performers, they have worked so hard. This will be a wonderful halftime show, Len. You will see.
Well, we sure are looking forward to it. From what we saw, it looks like you were able to assemble a bunch of really talented people for tonight's extravaganza.
That was waffle and 2 eggs, but that was about 6:30 this morning.
Yeah, maybe we should get Helmut some pigs in a blanket.
Yes, sir.
Is Jerry there? Jerry Glanville. Hello, Jerry.
Hey there, buddy.
Okay, you got the crazy. Get out of town.
Helmut, best of luck out there tonight with the big Spacely Sprockets halftime show spectacular. We're all looking forward to it. And again, thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Helmut Spaßmacher. We've watched them perform all season long. We've studied their strengths, their weaknesses, their turn-ons and turn-offs. And I even took a peek at their horoscopes. Yes, indeed, I did. It's time now for the big game predictions. Who's it going to be, fellas? Nick Bonacani, what say you?
You know, Lenny, this one has been a real struggle for me. I've spent countless hours debating back and forth who the victor could possibly be. You don't want to know how many sleepless nights I've had tossing and turning, searching for the answer.
Wow, it's been difficult for you.
No, it took me a half a second to figure out that Roadrunner's going to demolish Coyote. I mean, come on. Wile may have a freakish ability to recover from Acme-induced casualties, but it won't be enough once the Roadrunner is thrown into the mix. This goes to the one with the plumage.
Well, right off the bat, a very confident vote for the Roadrunner.
Well, fellas, there's a line from the Patrick Swayze film Roadhouse I'd like to quote. And the line is, pain don't hurt. What that means is, sure, Coyote's gonna get clobbered on. But will it matter? I say no. Oh, sure, he'll get knocked down, but he'll get up again, and again.
Whoa.
You're never going to keep him down. I give this one the Wile E. Coyote.
Well, surprise, surprise. Jerry's backing the underdog.
Underdog? Now, there's a player I'd like to see in a big game.
He was one of your favorites,
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he was. Well, I'm afraid no one's come to save the day for Wile E. Coyote, not this time around. Today, he's got to save himself, and he just might be able to do it if he remembers 3 simple rules. 1, the Roadrunner will always outrun you on the road. That's a given. 2, holding up a little sign that reads, "Egad," before a boulder crushes you, that does no good at all. And 3, the same rule applies for that tiny little umbrella. If he remembers these 3 simple rules, Wile just might do all right. But Coyote's never been one to take advice, so the Roadrunner's got this one in the bag, Lenny.
In the bag, he says, Jerry, it looks like it's 2 against 1 so far.
Doesn't bother me none.
Well, in that case, it certainly shouldn't bother you that I'm going with the Roadrunner as well.
Man, come on.
That's right, the Roadrunner. He's smart, he's fast, he's a bird. And I've always had good luck rooting for the bird. Remember, Tweety won last year, Jerry.
Gotcha last year.
Yes, Mr. Smarty Pants, I remember.
Okay, folks, let's tally this up. That makes it Nick, Chris, and I for the Roadrunner, and the Lone Wolf Glanville for Wile E. Coyote. And that's it for the Slate Rock and Quarry Company pregame show. For Chris Collinsworth, Nick Bonacani, and Jerry Glanville, I'm Len Dawson. Thanks for watching, and we will meet you again at halftime. Get ready, everybody, because it's time for the big game.
The following is a presentation of Cartoon Network Sports.
The desert. In this inhospitable wasteland where few species have been able to survive, 2 competitors have beaten the odds and risen to the heights of athletic achievement. One, a feathered dynamo blessed with the gift of speed, beeping his beep and traversing the barren landscape faster than any wind this arid terrain has ever known. The other, a beleaguered underdog, graced with an unyielding sense of purpose, rising up again and again and again after being dealt defeat upon crushing defeat. Tonight, the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote will take to the dusty field of competition before an audience of millions. In doing so, they will strive to prove their worths to not only the masses, but to themselves. It's been a long road. In this, the battle for the ultimate prize, there is certain to be one winner and one loser. What is uncertain is just which competitor will leave the field victorious. That changes now. The hour is at hand. The big game 28 is upon us, and from the lifeless sands of the desert, a contest will rise up. A contest for all time. You're looking at an overhead view of Chuck Jones Stadium from the Cartoon Network airship piloted by Commander Art Roach. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this year's big game. The big game 28, where tonight the Roadrunner and Coyote will finally meet and battle for the championship. I'm Pat Summerall, and with me, as always, is my compadre, Mr. John Madden. John?
Is this nuts or what? You know, we've been doing this for years now. And I can honestly say that I have never seen the crowd for the big game as big as the one that's gathered here tonight. It's just crazy.
A lot of people have been waiting a long time to see this matchup. The Roadrunner and Wile Coyote have been fighting it out for years in the Desert Division. And finally, here they are getting their chance to shine in the spotlight. They've got to be excited. It's been a long road.
I'll tell you, you aren't kidding. The thing is, the living room division has long dominated the regular season, parlaying that into trips to the playoffs and then ultimately to the big game. We saw it with Tom and Jerry 2 years ago, remember? And then Sylvester and Tweety just last year. Right. They've been solid competitors for years. So naturally, that's where a lot of the big television time has gone. Now you've got a division like the Desert Division, and all of a sudden, they're playing up to the level of the old standby. Sure, they're a little scrappy. But as we've seen since we started televising their games back in early October, the Roadrunner and Wile Coyote are a heck of a lot of fun to watch. I can't wait for tonight's game. This is really going to be great.
And as we near the kickoff, let's go down to the field with Cartoon Network Sports own Bubba Smith. Bubba?
Hi, guys. Must be nice up there in that air-conditioned booth, huh?
You don't want to be up here. We've only got 2 of those big old submarine sandwiches, and the little fridge doesn't hold many cold drinks. I'll tell you, this is terrible.
Save some for me. I'm coming up later. Now, I'm standing here on Wile Coyote's sideline, and I've got to say, here's a guy who seems to be gearing up for one heck of a game. An Acme truck pulled up a little over half an hour ago, presumably filled with all the gear Wile will be using tonight. We should be in for a real treat. I will say that as I was walking out on the field, I happened to pass by Wile's locker room where I heard him chanting over and over, "I am Wile Coyote, genius." Now, could this be a return to the whole nickname thing that got him into trouble his rookie season? I'm not sure. I'd like to believe that it's just psyching himself up for the game tonight. The only other person I've ever known with that high level of self-esteem is my close personal friend, Steve Gutenberg. Time to bump it over to the other side of the field with Scott Hamilton.
Thanks, Bubba. You know, there's only one word I can use to describe the mood over here in the Roadrunner camp. Electric. Here's a competitor who game after game has dazzled the world with his long, graceful strides across the desert. Frankly, I don't know how he does it. The heat is almost unbearable. I think I'll stick to the ice. Now, as we've seen all season, the Roadrunner has used his strength, his running game, to make it here to the big game. And it looks like he's not going to tempt fate by making any big changes tonight. And that's good news for all of us watching this evening. The delicate artistry of this athlete's dance across the sandy terrain is truly a wonder to behold. His sleek form creates the illusion of ribbon-like lines crossing the playing field, and his choreography, always a big favorite with the judges. He's also going to be sticking with his standard costume, and you can't argue the classic. The Roadrunner always looks great in purple, and as we've said so many times before, you can never go wrong with feathers. Now, some might see this and say that he borders on the flashy side, but I think that it just goes to show how confident this bird is tonight. From all appearances, it looks like, as always, the Roadrunner is playing to win. All in all, I think we're in for a magical competition. Pat and John?
Hey, Scott, you gonna melt down there? Be careful, buddy.
Great.
All righty. Well, everyone, here it is. Just about time to get things going. And it looks like they're readying the field for competition. Can you believe this?
Will you look at that?
Gorgeous, isn't it?
You know, I'm getting a little choked up. That is beautiful. You know, Pat, I've said this before. The Chuck Jones Stadium is the best facility to play in for a competition like this. Man, this is really going to be fun.
And how it is. Okay, let's go down to the field now for the player introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the field, graduate of Runaway University, league leader in rushing for 50 straight seasons, and wearing blue feathers and high purple plumage.
He's looking great tonight.
In very good form.
Boy, the crowd loves him too, don't they?
Yes, they do.
And now, from TNT Technical College, underwritten by a generous grant from the Acme Corporation, and wearing his traditional matted brown fur,
Looks like the Coyote fans came out tonight, too. Heck, good for them.
Acme evidently not worried about the publicity even after pulling the sponsorship for tonight's halftime show.
And what a halftime show this is going to be, Pat.
That's right, everybody. The Spacely Sprockets Halftime Show Spectacular. That's coming up.
When's that on?
At halftime, John.
I'll tell you what, I'm sure looking forward to it. Yeah. You know, when you get a guy like Helmut Spaschmacher calling the shots on a production like this, you just know this is going to be huge.
They got singers, dancers, pyrotechnics. I think I even saw a monkey.
I'm telling you, all the big celebs line up for a chance to work with a talent like old Schmaschbacher. Are you as excited about this as I am?
More, John, more. Well, the competitors are warming up down on the field, and we're going to go to a commercial. When we get back, the kickoff for the Big Game 28, right here on Cartoon Network. So stick around.
Meet George Jetson.
Is you is or is you ain't my baby? Maybe baby's found somebody new. My baby is still my baby true.
The Big Game 28 is underway. As always, the game leading off with a big run. Coyote keeping up with the Roadrunner, making a reach, a tackle, and he slipped through his fingers. John, how about that?
Doesn't that beat all? Wiley isn't fooling around tonight. A solid grab. He's got his hands around Roadrunner's neck, and they start to tumble. If you look here at this point, he's still got the grip. The roll slows him down a little. But in the end, that dust-shaped like Roadrunner proves that he's not going to let Wiley off without a fight.
They both seem like they're out here ready to play.
And man, is this crowd loving it. Heck, I'm loving it. What a way to start a big game.
Roadrunner sneaks up on Wiley. Wiley's empty-handed. And there's the first beep-beep of the night, sending Wiley sailing to the power line. Hanging on as Roadrunner begins his run downfield. Down the pole, another beep-beep, and it looks like Wiley's going with the post formation. The post is away as he begins his descent. The post continues its upward momentum, and that looks none too friendly. A glance up, the post moves in quickly. Bracing cannot help, and hole in one. Wiley driven into the ground. John, you talk about a painful run. Look at that.
It's the beep-beep. It's always a factor, and you'd think Coyote would be used to it by now. But this is the Roadrunner's main tactic. He beep-beeps, then lets Wiley make his own mistake. As strong as Wiley took to the field, he can't be pleased with that last down.
Back on his feet, Coyote hides behind a wall. His confidence looks good. A jump out into the road, and what's that? Coyote pizza.
Okay, that wasn't Wiley's fault. That sure sounded like the Roadrunner. And how often did trucks go through this part of the field? That was an honest mistake.
In the stands tonight, the Powerpuff Girls. Blossom, Buttercup, and...
Bubbles.
Bubbles, of course. Good to see him here. Coyote now moving on to Simple 2. Roadrunner hits high gear. Coyote hikes. And whammo. Not good. Not good at all.
Pat, this is a case of using your own strength against you. He just pulled too hard is all. Check this out. He squared his shoulders. It was just too aggressive a tug. He's going to remember that next down.
One would think. And here's the old Coyote we're used to. A little Acme TNT, and it looks like he's going to take out the pass. We could be looking at pass interference. Wires pulling the plunger backfield. Plunger going down. And surprise, surprise. Explosion.
Now, this is exactly the kind of play Wiley used to make all the time in his days as a rookie. Everyone knows you don't connect the wires until the dynamite's in place.
Everyone evidently but Wile E. Coyote. Another Acme product. This time the earthquake pills. Where's this going?
Looks promising. He's setting them in the road like they're birdseed, see? And Roadrunners love birdseed, especially when it's free. See there? Right on the sign, free birdseed. And those aren't seeds that grow birds. Eggs grow birds. Birds eat birdseed.
You've tried planting birdseed, haven't you, John?
Once or twice. I didn't get any birds, that's for sure.
The Roadrunner runs in. And look at him go on that pile. Could this actually be working for Wile E?
It looks like it, Pat. He's enjoying this. Look at that. I'd love to see a happy Coyote. He's got to be pleased right now.
Roadrunner running down the play clock. A big gulp and an audible. Off he goes into Coyote territory. John, what are we seeing here?
We're seeing one hungry bird. Look at him tackle that pile. He's going so fast, our cameras are showing what? 1, 2, 3 heads. Kind of creepy if you ask me. I don't think he's human.
He's not. He's a road runner.
Oh, yeah, right. Anyway, it doesn't look like the pills are affecting his game any. He's out of there.
Back to the field, Coyote downs the bottle, apparently trying to figure out just how this play went wrong.
Looks kind of ticked off, doesn't he?
I should say. A little tantrum. Wile is not happy. Has Acme sold him a bogus product?
It's hard to tell.
Wait a minute. It looks like the earthquake pills are taking effect. Wile's teeth are chattering wildly. Look at him go.
No whistle yet. Looks like the refs are letting him play.
Wile is losing yardage as he makes his way closer to the balancing rock. I think we all see where this is going. Breaking through the inside, and down goes the boulder. That ends the run for Wile.
Pick up your flag, Pat. I don't think he's done yet. Looks like he's breaking through the block. Wile may not be finished with this play.
Coyote rushes through a torrent of falling rocks. Can you believe this? How on earth did he make it out of that?
Talk about a 4 aspirin hit, yet it looks like he's going to shake it off. I wouldn't count this Coyote out.
Well, it is only the first quarter.
You said it.
Wile tests his footing. The worst seems to have passed. Crossing midfield, and, well, will you look at that? He's out of bounds. I'm speechless.
What the heck just happened?
Boy, I wish I knew. That might be the strangest thing I've ever seen. Just plain careless. I don't know.
Well, that's going to do it for the first quarter of the big game 28 at Chuck Jones Stadium. The score is Roadrunner 14, Coyote 3. And we'll be back after this, everybody.
Has possession, but it doesn't look like he's going anywhere with whatever it is he's possessing.
No, he's not, Pat. Wiley's got a good beat on him. But the Roadrunner knows sometimes it's best to stand back and watch the play take care of itself. And look at that. Down goes Wile on the first down. What's sad about this, apart from the obvious, is that neither the Roadrunner or weird gadgets played a part in it. All Wile had to do was look behind him, and that's just not Coyote style.
That last play sent Coyote careening with a "hey, I've suffered too many concussions" look on his face.
He's losing an awful lot of yardage on this one.
If I were him, I'd be losing my lunch right about now.
That was a hard hit. Wile scrambles and forms a huddle while the cliff chunk fails to thread the needle, sending shockwaves through Coyote. He's out, but it's a fumble. Talk about comedic timing.
I don't think we want to see the result of that play.
You got that right.
There's no time to recoup in this game, though. They're both off and running.
Look at that speed. The Roadrunner could go all the way.
But Wiley's sticking to him like a tan to Dan Marino.
Or George Hamilton. The bird knows he's tailing him and pulls a reverse.
The Roadrunner signaled.
He should know better than look to us for help.
Down goes Coyote. And flat. That's not a happy face.
What's interesting about this play, besides the whole no gravity thing, is that Wile thinks those puppy dog eyes of his will sway us into helping him out.
Well, he does look cute.
He sure does. But of course, that's against the rules, and the refs won't let that slide. So down he goes.
Here he's probably thinking he wishes he could change that rule. He could also be thinking, this is the worst. Well, this can't be happening. Is this happening? It can't be happening.
Not to mention Rasa-Bracka-Frackin', but that's more of a Yosemite Sam phrase.
Coyote's running another birdseed option.
He's up in the odds this time by bringing in his #1 draft pick, the Bear Trap.
He's out of Acme University, so you know Wiley's excited about this new addition.
Bear Trap had a superb college record, and by the looks of it, really wants to continue that momentum into the pros.
That's just what this Coyote is counting on.
And here's the Roadrunner. He's daring the lineman to tackle him. He goes stutter step.
Wiley is stupefied.
Well, he should be. This bird stepped up to a mean-looking defense, enjoyed a snack, and really rubbed it in Coyote's face with that victory dance.
Other appropriate moments for a victory dance include you just aced the Big Chem final after finding that missing part to your nearly restored Firebird, and Stacy said yes, she will go to the prom with you.
Here comes Wile back in the field to loosen up his player.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah, Coyote just wants to make sure his rookie's in top shape. I guess he is.
He looks like a zipper.
Wiley's taking it to the nosebleed section. He should be able to get a perfect spiral out of that rocket.
He fires.
Like I said, good spiral with an unintentional grounding. I'm assuming those rocket scientists at Acme put this disaster out. Wiley should never listen to him, because running a post behind such a hot offensive play, that never works.
This could take some time to recover from. Don't forget, everyone, after the first half, stay tuned for the Spacely Sprockets halftime show spectacular, choreographed by world-renowned showman extraordinaire, Helmut Spassmacher.
And I'll tell you, he is fantastic. I hear we're in store for a cavalcade of stars.
Expect nothing but the best from Helmut.
Back to the action. Wiley's wheeling in a substitute for his defensive line. There's a snap. That poor cactus never had a chance.
Looks like Wiley's feeling confident.
A little too confident. He's standing where that safety should be.
This reminds me of Green Bay.
That pose reminds me of the Heisman Trophy. That is to say, it did.
Iron glue and boomerang. Those were two of my favorite halfbacks.
Wiley spreads it on thick as the Roadrunner gains yardage.
Coyote's back to throw, and he's going long. He's thrown himself.
What an arm. He sent himself soaring.
Too bad there's no one there to receive him.
Unless he receives himself, which I think is the plan.
Wiley knows that he needs a receiver with sticky hands, so he catches himself.
I don't think he realizes that idea makes no sense.
Wiley, in fact, leads his league in plays that make no sense. Right behind Gargamel, Thunder the Barbarian, and Barney Rubble.
Coyote is still soaring, apparently trying to gain control of his situation.
He's running some interesting patterns, but he won't gain control of anything if he keeps up all that squirming. Right here, Coyote keeps his cool fairly well, but this is where he loses it. Right there. That's too many heads for one animal to have. You can't think clearly when you got 3 or 4 heads flying around telling you what to do, always yapping in your ear.
Well, the half is just about up, and Wiley's taking the long way toward the locker room. At the half, the Roadrunner leads Wile E. Coyote 32-0. Wiley taking a step backward there. When we return, it's Len, Chris, Nick, and Jerry in the studio with their halftime recap, and then look out, ladies and gentlemen, because the Spacely Sprockets halftime show spectacular will be here soon to knock your socks off.
Yeah, and we've got the best seats in the house. I'll tell you, I can't wait.
You don't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere.
Everybody, and thanks for joining us for the Spacely Sprockets halftime show. Once again, I'm Len Dawson, together with Chris Collinsworth, Nick Buonacani, and Jerry Glanville. Now, guys, is anyone here really surprised at the first half and how it went down?
Went down? I'll say it went down. Right down the tooth of that Wile E. Coyote, Jerry.
Are you crazy? Are we watching the same game? Wiley's got the Roadrunner just where he wants him.
Feel his forehead, Chris. He's got a real bad fever.
Cut it out. What we're seeing here is vintage Wile E. Coyote strategy. And I think it's been a heck of an exciting game so far. Tell me, am I wrong? Come on, tell me.
Strategy. Is that what they're calling getting yourself smeared all over the canyon walls these days?
Nah, hold on a minute, Nick. Jerry's right, sort of. It has been an exciting game, but only if you're a Roadrunner fan. That's the only way it's been exciting. I think the word we're looking for, Jerry, is embarrassing. Right. It's been an embarrassing game so far for Wile E. Coyote, admit it.
Wile E., a Coyote who should be stepping up to the challenge of playing in this, the biggest of games, seems to be relying on stock gimmicks. Items probably found on the bargain page of the Acme catalog.
Don't you see? That's exactly the strategy I'm talking about. Wiley's letting the Roadrunner think that he's the same old idiot he's been all season.
When actually, he's a new idiot.
He's got you there. Come on.
That's not what I meant, and you know.
Open. But you've got to admit, Jerry, Wiley's done little to prove that his head's really in this game so far, while the Roadrunner's out there consistently making the crucial plays.
Crucial plays?
That's right.
I haven't seen any crucial plays. All I've seen is a bunch of showboating and grandstanding. Makes me sick. Mark my words, in the second half, Wiley's going to wipe that goofy smirk right off the Roadrunner's beat.
We shall see, Jerry Glanville, we shall see. But now it's time to remember that our halftime analysis, scintillating as it is not really what most viewers look forward to in a halftime show.
Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so.
Well, I know it's crazy, but honestly, as we saw earlier in the pregame show, the Big Game Entertainment Committee has a special halftime treat waiting for us back at Chuck Jones Stadium. So, without further ado, let's head back there right now, and we'll see you back here after the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Big Game Entertainment Committee, in association with Cartoon Network Sports and Helmut Spassmacher Productions, is pleased to present tonight's mid-game festivities. It's time now for the Spacely Sprockets halftime show, Spectacular, featuring Broadway legend Carol Channing, star of stage and screen Clyde the Orangutan, legendary daredevil Evel Knievel, mimes extraordinaire Shields and Yarnell, and singing sensation Tom Jones. Get ready, everyone, because the heat is on!
So let me get this straight. You're in the woods.
Right.
And you're lost.
Uh-huh.
And you're taping it.
Yep.
And they said it was just another tired rip-off of the Blair Witch Project?
I know.
Man, that hurts.
Tell me about it. We've been doing the whole mystery thing, and is that Carol Channing?
Which one?
On the left. With the monkey.
Uh-huh. Had her on the show first season. Second season. Nice lady.
Ah. So we've been doing the mystery thing for years, and then... I don't know. I try not to think about it too much.
Let me ask you something. That redhead, what's her name?
Daphne?
Right, Daphne. She's a hottie.
I know.
So?
So what?
Linda thinks there's something going on between you two.
Who's Linda?
My wife. So, is there?
I'm not saying.
Oh, come on, dude. Throw me a bone.
Shh, hey, cool it. He's going.
Go, Knievel. Go. Go.
Whoa! Can we get a big spatula over here?
Yeah, he'll feel that tomorrow.
I was at Snake River Canyon.
Get out.
Seriously. We were checking out a haunted amusement park nearby.
Man, cool.
Oh, it was amazing.
I'll bet.
Listen up, everybody. Shields and Yarnell.
Mimes. So, who'd you pick today?
What, are you kidding?
Roadrunner?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. You're in on the pool, right?
Yeah, Bravo's.
Bravo's got one? When did he start that?
Thursday? He was in the commissary. No, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Why? Which one are you in?
The red guys.
You're kidding.
What?
Well, you can kiss that money goodbye.
We used to go to camp together. He said I could trust him.
And you believed him?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
your money.
You've all been waiting for, performer extraordinaire, Mr. Tom Jones!
Jones is up. Must be the finale.
You know, my dad said he's a distant cousin or something.
Seriously?
Yep.
That is so cool.
Yep. Whoa, Delilah. Delilah.
Master control. You're kidding. Okay, I'll get on it. Sorry.
What?
Camera's on in here.
How long?
Not sure.
You got it?
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the Spacely Sprockets halftime show, Spectacular. Get ready, everybody. The second half of the Big Game 28 is coming up next.
Hey, John, how about that halftime show? When they said spectacular, they meant it.
Well, when you've got Helmut Schmaschbacher at the helm, you know you're in store for some quality entertainment.
He likes to throw a touch of the sublime into his productions, which I find satisfying.
And with all those lasers, it was like daytime out here. I could go on for days about the astronauts, but heck, you saw it.
Well, judging from the judge's response, the Roadrunner seems to have the upper hand at this point.
He certainly does. And we'll just have to wait and see how Wile responds to those final quarters.
We won't have to wait for long. Back again at Chuck Jones Stadium. The field has been reset, and we have begun the second half of this game.
Looks like they've rested up a bit and are really ready to play again.
Wiley looks in good form, keeping pace. It actually looks like he's filling the gap.
Hey, you see that? Maybe Glanville was right.
Wiley making the approach to Roadrunner's right-hand side, and he's rushing right past him. And the Roadrunner has put on the brakes.
By the looks of it, Wiley has surprised himself here. This is a perfect example of someone who doubles their efforts after forgetting their goal. He's overcompensating.
Overcompensating right over another cliff.
Well, if he could have run a little faster, he might have made it out over the water. Probably would have softened the blow a little bit, too.
Well, I think he's probably used to it by now.
You're probably right. Let's check that out again. Look at the expression on Wiley's face. That's confidence right there. Just chugging away. Head back. Very different running style from the Roadrunner. Now, at this point, I've got to think even the bird is a little surprised. Sure, he's smiling, but he always does that, doesn't he?
A happy, happy bird.
Now, here Wiley goes off the cliff. Check this out. He knows he's in trouble, yet he won't stop running. Poor guy. On the upside, it did look like a perfect swan dive.
Maybe he should switch sports. Coyote has climbed back up the rock face and is hanging on his own 30. Looking down, always risky. He pulls himself to safety. It looks like...
45!
Will you look at that?
Wow!
Coyote has broken the plane. He looks really shaken up. He didn't like that one bit.
Let's look at it again. It looks like the Roadrunner has become a much more aggressive player in the second half, hitting Wiley with the beeps as he slides up behind him. And that should have been encroachment, but I didn't hear a whistle. That's unlike anything we've seen so far in this game.
The result is, of course, the same. Wiley out in no Coyotes land and losing yardage.
I have a feeling that he's going to use that anger to come back at the bird.
Provided he can get near him. Next down, 3rd and 10. It appears Wiley has brought a balloon out on the field, inflating with deep breaths that give the impression of extra shoulder pad. But there you are. The air has reversed on him. And talk about bloated. The long bomb. His lighter-than-air body counteracts the weight of the missile. And that Coyote is live. It's too much. And he's airborne.
You know, Pat, ordinarily I wouldn't worry about Wiley in this situation. But hanging on to a large explosive isn't going to help him any.
He's dropping back. He lets it go. Looks downfield. And scramble.
He's got to get out of there in a hurry if he's going to make it out of this one.
Under the outcropping. How about that?
That, my friend, is one lucky Coyote.
From your lips to God's ear.
Look at this. We haven't had a chance to look at Wiley's defensive game very much so far. But when he uses these rocks to block for him and that combination with the standard duck and cover stance, it looks like he's made it through this run in one piece. I think he's getting smarter out there.
You were saying?
Never mind.
Fred Flintstone enjoying tonight's big game. 1st and 10. And it looks like he's going to go with the birdseed play again.
Yeah, but this time he's using advertising. Little known fact about Roadrunners. They can't resist point-of-purchase items, especially, again, free ones. This should tip the scales in Wiley's favor.
Wiley setting up the bucket formation, struggling a little upon entry. A slip, and he's hanging on by that right knee of his.
That's got to be hurting him more than a little bit. Wasn't that the knee he banged up slamming into the wall back in November?
Which time?
With the, you know.
Oh, yeah, I think you may be right. The knot on the bucket loosening. Wiley looks, doesn't react in time, and off he goes. Roadrunner still munching away. Wiley goes back, and is intercepted by a lone branch. Of all the dumb luck.
Think he meant to do that?
You think he's that smart?
Well, look at him. Well, oh, boy.
Roadrunner looks up. What's this? A little help for Wiley, and it looks like he appreciates it.
And the Coyote is out of play.
Now that there, Pat, is sportsmanship. The Roadrunner didn't have to get that spring for Wile, and the Coyote knows it. That's what the sign is for. Nothing too friendly. Just a simple thank you. And even though he ended up getting caught in the spiral, it wasn't any worse than that hard pavement would have been. The Roadrunner is one class act.
You said it. Back on the field, and Wile has set up the detour sign. Probably and there goes Roadrunner, stopping at the edge of a cliff. Looks like the sign worked.
We could be seeing the first huge play for Coyote right here, Pat. This is incredible.
A lick of the lips. We might be witnessing history. The momentum of this game could be turning right now, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't believe it.
A step and Coyote fades away. The clock is run out.
John, how disappointing is that for the Coyote?
Wiley's got an awful lot of ground to cover in this fourth quarter, that is for sure.
The score is 43 to -3. And we're going to take a break. Keep it here for the final quarter of the Roadrunner versus Coyote. The Big Game 28, right here on Cartoon Network.
Fourth quarter, it looks like Wile's taking another look at the playbook.
I don't know if he needs to study that thing harder or toss it in the trash. Nothing's worked so far for Wile.
He looks determined to find something useful in there.
Look, the Roadrunner's attempting a sneak.
He's mocking the Coyote.
Wile can't believe it.
And up he goes.
It looks like Wile was so wrapped up by a delicious play that he didn't even notice his opponent right behind him. Not until the Roadrunner made like a mockingbird and mimicked Coyote's lip-licking, tongue-smack thing. Now that's a look that says, huh? And here's proof, kids. You should always wear a helmet.
It looks like Wile's preparing for a clothesline.
That's not legal.
I don't think he cares.
He should, because down goes Coyote. A penalty like that always means a loss in yardage.
For those of you in outdoor sports, this is the improper way to repel. He should have properly harnessed himself before descending. And this is why you should always buddy up.
Let's look at this again. Coyote pulls, and to his surprise, and his surprise alone, mind you, he snags nothing, and down he goes. Along the way, he lassos a boulder, thinks he's home free, and ends up sacked.
Coyote does not look happy about that last play.
At least that will distract him from the boulder that's about to mash him.
Heavy is the head that carries the weight of a big rock.
You said it.
It looks like we've got ourselves a foot race.
I love to watch these two in their natural state. No gimmicks, no gadgets, just old-fashioned Wild Kingdom type action.
Wile may have him.
Not this time. The Roadrunner's splitting, and he's taking the desert with him.
That certainly threw off Coyote's game. He looks puzzled and fresh out of steam.
It looks like the bridge is out for Wile. Let's see that again. It looked like Coyote was on the verge of gaining possession, but that look the Roadrunner gave him put Wile in his place. And that place ended up being over the cliff and down the canyon. Now, that's not a good place to be.
Back to the action. It looks to me like a crazed Roadrunner fan wants to make sure that fall finished the job.
Well, if anything, it seems to have revitalized Coyote, because here he comes roaring back.
He does look reinvigorated, but I don't think strapping himself to a big rock will help his game any.
You can say that again.
I don't think strapping himself...
Very funny, Pat. There goes Coyote bounding across the field, taking some serious punishment.
The only way this could get worse is if the boulder went over a cliff.
You must be psychic.
I am. Wile hangs on while he gets a free appendectomy.
It's like he's attached to a giant yo-yo.
Yes, a giant yo-yo of doom.
How did this craziness start? Oh, yeah, strapped to a big rock. Now, you see that look? That's a look of denial. He knows he's headed somewhere he doesn't want to be, yet he's smiling. That is denial with a capital D. This is a tough play here, because if you hold on or let go, you'll end up sacked either way.
And Coyote's found himself in a free fall.
Looks to me like, yeah, it is. It's a seesaw formation.
Wile finds an opening and takes it, but is recoiled.
Now here's that seesaw formation launching Coyote straight through the uprights. That's accuracy, but he gets sucked back up into that big slinky.
It looks like he's removing the safety belt.
I can only assume he has a parachute.
You assume too much, my friend.
Well, Scott Hamilton was right. He's really sticking those landings.
Did he have anything to say about Coyote running a demolition crane?
No, I would have remembered that.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
And rightly so. I don't know if I can watch.
Me either. Is this game over yet?
It is from where I'm sitting, brother. Whoa, whoa! I didn't mean the game's officially over. I just meant that a comeback for Coyote's out of the question. I like that Heidi show, though.
That's quality programming. Well, you got to give credit to that furbag for trying so hard.
Hey, he's no quitter, that's for sure. But at this point, he really needs to just call it a night.
He has no choice now. The clock just ran out. Well, that's it for us and for the big game 28. The Roadrunner versus Coyote. For John and myself, good night from Chuck Jones Stadium.
Chuck Jones Stadium would like to thank you for joining
While
us
he's
for
still
the Big
playing.
Game 28. Remember, souvenir items are available at every Chuck Jones Stadium gift shop.
Either he doesn't care that the game's over, or he doesn't know that the game's over.
One thing I do know is that he needs to stay away from that caterpillar.
Thank you.
So, what are you doing after the big game?
I don't know. I thought I'd just relax in the bus, maybe have a sandwich, watch some TV. What are you going to do?
I guess I'll head back to the hotel and order some room service and just kick back.
Sounds good.
I knew that would happen.
We all did. All of us except for Wile.
You're right. He still has no idea.
I wonder where the Roadrunner is. For the past few minutes, all we've seen is Wile doing things like running into this wall.
I think he's waiting for Wile to get this out of his system.
Hey, so is everyone watching this game. Enough already.
This could be the last play. Unofficially, that is.
Looks like a Hail Mary. Coyote's going deep. And he's sacked. Twice.
And the final score, the Roadrunner 59, Wile Coyote -12. Ouch.
That's quite a score. Now, some may say it's unsportsmanlike for the Roadrunner to run up the score like that. But anyone watching knows that's really not the case. A majority of the Roadrunner's points were basically a gift from Wile thanks to those crazy plays.
He's crazy like a fox, that Coyote. Or not like a fox at all, just really crazy.
Truer words have never been spoken, Pat.
Well, that's it for us and for Big Game 28. Good night from Chuck Jones Stadium. Now back to the studio for Lynn, Chris, Nick, and Jerry.
What a game it was today. It had action, it had drama, it had comedy, but not much romance. And there certainly was no love lost between these two competitors. Just look at the score.
Wow.
I must say, though, if there's one thing traditional about this big game, it's a blowout. And what a whopper this one was.
I tell you, Lenny, the last time I saw a negative score like this, TV Screech was a contestant on Celebrity Jeopardy.
Yeah.
So what happened to Wile E. Coyote today? Now, let's start with the TNT. You know, guys, you should have known by now, anything with a fuse is his enemy, not his friend. And as always, he began his play looking really Mr. Confident, but ended up looking like a charred briquette.
Sure, Coyote may have lost this game, but it was a valiant effort. Personally, I consider Wile E. the true winner here. I do. He played his game the way he wanted to. He never gave up, even during that last unfortunate series of catapult plays. And he never forgot the first rule of competition, sportsmanship. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for the Roadrunner. This play in the third quarter really got to me. Here's Wile E. recovering from a failed play, and boom! The Roadrunner sneaks up behind him and sends him off the cliff. That, my friends, is called fighting dirty.
Fighting dirty or not, Wile E. Coyote certainly had his own hand in the loss. You want to know how you could possibly receive a negative score? Well, add up all the cliff dives alone and start subtracting. There's this one, here's another, and another. There's more, but you get the picture.
Yes, I believe we do. But no matter how you look at it, only a champion makes it to the big game. And yes, that includes Wile E. Coyote. And of course, this season's big game champ, the Roadrunner. Congratulations to them both. And congratulations to you, the fan, for having the stomach to watch a coyote get the stuffing continually beat out of him. You're all very brave. On behalf of all of us at Cartoon Network Sports, Thank you for watching. Courage.